Hola Madridistas, welcome to another episode of Let's Be Real, where we preview the game against Sociedad. This is actually a very early preview for us. Usually we have it on Mondays because the game is on Tuesday, but yeah, we decided to have a quick weekend preview. How are you feeling, Farooq? You look really happy.
I actually just received a message just before that, and that actually made me laugh. It's been a long day for me, honestly, and yeah, tomorrow is it's the 1st of May, so it's a holiday as well. So there is no work and there is no school. So yeah, man, it is a reason to be happy, man. And for any reason why there is gonna be a holiday, we will always be happy for that, man.
I mean, speak for yourself. Like, I work at an Indian startup, so they basically run these like sweatshops. There is no holiday for us.
Yeah, man, you gotta put the work in early, man. That's the thing. That's the thing with startups, man. You have to put the work and the shift in early. But then, man, yeah, man. I mean, working as well, man, is it's a way to take off steam as well. Sometimes, working can be a way to blow off steam as well.
That's true. All right. So how about football news? Were you caught up on? Because every preview for us, as we've said before, is a Man City preview as well. And did you catch any of Man City this week?
Nah, man, this weekend, honestly, I have not caught any game. I haven't watched any game this weekend, and I actually have missed apparently crackers. So yeah, it is what it is, honestly. But I've seen some highlights, and Haaland has 40 goals down this season. Sorry, is it 40 or 50? I'm not sure. 40, right?
50 goals now. Yeah.
50 goals, right? Yeah, he has 50 goals down in all comps. Yeah, so there is that. So yeah, man. I mean, it was a 2-1 victory for Arsenal for City against Fulham. So actually, Fulham was a potential banana skin that I actually, earmarked in the title run, in honesty. And I think the scoreline actually says that as well. But I didn't watch the game, so I can't say if it was a close game or anything. Well, actually, Marco Silva's team, Fulham, they are really, really, difficult to break down. They are a really well-drilled team, and they are actually missing their key man, who got the suspension, the striker Mitrovic. So yeah, man, I didn't see City, but I mean, nah, honestly, like it's City, like there is nothing to say, man. Honestly, like even if whatever it is, man, it's City. Like those guys are just on a different level. Honestly, they operate on a whole different level.
Well, that's true. I mean, the highlight of the game basically was okay, Haaland got his 50th goal. Julian Alvarez scored as well. And but the big talking point was Pep's post-match. So he basically said De Bruyne is injured, and I'm not going to give you a timeline on when he's going to return. So is that to confuse us, Farooq? Do you think that is part of this super master plan?
Well, I don't know, man, honestly, because if there's anything, we know that Kevin De Bruyne actually has been having health issues across the past 18 months, because even as it was said, like last season, even in the game, he wasn't fully fit against us when he played the games. And even we could see that, that also, affected the World Cup performances and lack thereof as well. So for KDB, I wouldn't, be too suspect about it, honestly. But then it could be, this grand mind battle, that Pep is starting very early, in the week. So yeah, I mean, uh, obviously you don't. If Kevin De Bruyne doesn't play, it's a big plus for us, honestly, a very very big plus. But I mean, City has won the title without Kevin De Bruyne as also. You know, Pep's team are just a juggernaut, honestly. They are a whole different monster, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, and even if Kevin De Bruyne doesn't play, like we also have a major absentee in the form of Luka Modric, and he's the quintessential big game player. But the news around him is that he traveled to some specialist, and even though the timeline for his sort of injury is 4 weeks, he's trying to cut it by 2 weeks and maybe even make an appearance for Man City. Question: so, would you rather have a partially fit Luka Modric play, maybe risk a re-injury, or would you have him like full blown and full healthy Luka Modric for the second leg?
I'd rather keep Modric for the second leg because the point is Modric is no longer, a spring chicken. He's 38 years old, so any minor inconvenience, can lead to something more long term. You understand? So I think I'd rather keep Modric fit for the second leg. I would not risk him at all for the first leg if that's the case. Well, I mean, I've heard that he's going to be out for 2 weeks and he's going to be able to make the first leg. I don't know. Maybe I obviously they're going to be conflicting reports here and there, but I've heard that he's going to be out for 2 weeks and he should be able to make the first leg. Well, let's see. Well, I mean, to answer your question, I will take a rather full fit Modric for the second leg.
Yeah, man. I mean, let's not like turn this to a complete City preview by discussing the lineup for the midfield. But yeah, hopefully we have Ancelotti who thinks that if Modric can walk, then he can play. Like, hopefully that's not gonna be the case. Yeah.
I hope
Anyway,
so. I hope that's not going to be the case, honestly, because if that's the case, then because the thing is, see, uh, we're going to come up against very, very dynamic players. Teams that this is a team that literally doesn't have a formation. You
yeah,
understand? So if you're having a half fit 38-year-old, you understand? It doesn't sound good, man. On paper, in practice, whatever it is, man. It's because Modric is, as you said, like he's such a key player. He's such a key component, of the team. So if he's not performing to a certain level, because even at that point, Modric needs to perform more than a certain level. You understand? They need to
yeah,
reach like God send level. You understand? So if you're not fully fit in the first place, then it's gonna be so difficult, man. And it's gonna be such a physical game. You understand? Like it's gonna be a lot of running, a lot of chasing around for us. Because the truth is, we're gonna chase and chase. You understand? So it's going to be a lot of chasing around. So if Luka Modric is not fully fit in the first instance, I will, it's just spells doom, man. Honestly, it spells doom.
yeah.
But I mean,
And
an option will be, to introduce Modric as a super sub in the second half of the first leg, if that's the case.
yeah, and we have some comments. So Sunil and Dennis are both in the comments. So Sunil's first question is off topic. He asks, "Is Jacob in the Bahamas?" Uh, well, no, like I'm right now here in Thrissur, my hometown. So, and the temperature even now is at like 29 degrees at night. So it's just really hot, man. And I just need to wear this to survive.
Wow,
Yeah,
wow, man, that's outrageous. But it's just May, man, right? It's not even May yet.
it's not even May yet.
Wow, man.
It's gonna be a long
So what does
summer
he go
here.
to in the what does he go to in the summer?
Oh, in the summer, right now in Thrissur it hits 40, which is not too bad compared to the rest of like the northern parts of India, where sometimes it goes to 46, 45 in Delhi.
I see. Wow, that's a lot actually. Actually, but it's not that dissimilar to Nigeria as well, because like in the part I grew up in Nigeria, like I actually have personally witnessed I think 44 degrees Yeah, I think I've witnessed 44, 45. That's the max I have witnessed. But now I heard it goes up to 49
Wow.
due to the whole, you know, global warming and all those kind of shit and all that. Now it goes up to 49 in certain places. Like it's crazy, man. It's outrageous,
Yeah, you
honestly.
can just leave a pan outside and you can slow cook an omelet.
Yeah,
Uh,
man. Yeah, def, man, def.
and yeah, Sunil mentions, yeah, this is typical mind games by Pep to, not give a timeline for a player's injury and whatnot. Be coy about it.
Yeah, it could be honestly, it could be. But as I said, like, with Kevin De Bruyne's injury history, like, I wouldn't be surprised if he is, a genuine doubt, But it is what it is, man. We just have to play. It doesn't matter who they field. If they like, they can field 11 Haalands. If they like, they can field 11 10-year-olds. Like, we don't really care, whoever comes on the pitch, we're going to battle with them.
Yeah. And Dennis says, man, I missed the game yesterday. Just watched the extended highlights. We looked really good going forward compared to the game versus Girona. We found like it was actually night and day how bad, how well drilled Girona were and how bad Almeria were on the night. I mean, they tried their best. We still managed to concede a couple of goals, but it is what it is. And one of
Yeah.
those, did you catch the highlights at least? And then one of those goals was majorly Rudiger's fault. He was not marking the man in the far post.
Yeah, I saw that. Now you're talking about the first goal then.
Yeah,
You're talking about the first goal. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, honestly, Jacob, the thing is this, like, when it comes to this aerial balls, like, it's so difficult to single out Rudiger for this aerial, kind of things, because I kind of feel like the point is we've been talking about this since last year. Rudiger wasn't here last year. You
well, yeah.
understand? So I think it's just a fault in the whole setup of the team, the way we have been set up. It's there is a fault in there, in my opinion. You understand? But I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something or not. But I just think it's not. Rudiger alone is not. It's not enough to to point fingers at Rudiger alone. Honestly, I think it's a whole systematic thing. Honestly, but then, as I said, I really don't know. Maybe I might be right or wrong.
Good luck, man. Like every post match, I feel like Sunaid is gonna dig into Rudiger, and you should be there to defend him.
I don't know, man. That's the thing. Like, I mean, our defensive setup has not been good, and I keep saying this over and over again. I understand. Like, for example, I mean, on the cross goal, on the second goal they conceded from the Tony Cross mistake, it was atrocious. It was, it's something that's totally avoidable. It's something that a coach cannot account for. You understand? This is something that you cannot calculate. It's not something you expect from a player like Tony Kroos. You understand, like that on the cook pass. You understand, and I'm sure he will repeat it 1 million times, and he will not repeat that mistake. He will repeat the process 1 million times and complete the pass 1 million times. You understand? So this was the 1 millionth and one time. So for that you can't do anything. But for this area ball and this, like, I mean, honestly, I believe that with a very good defensive coach we solve this problem. But for some reason, like, we just still considering, and it's just sad and pathetic right now that every team, like, no matter how short. And the thing was that, like, Almeria weren't that tall, if I'm not mistaken. From the highlights I saw, like, they weren't that. I mean, they weren't talent level players, man. They aren't Lukaku high level players, man. Honestly, so the fact that you can get dominated so easily by literally anyone, because about this reading of the head, also the leap is important. That way, the way you take the leap and all these things are
Yeah.
important. So how is this going to be handled? I don't know, honestly, but I just feel like rather than the individuals, I think the lack of a system, or rather the failure of the system, is what is at play here.
Well, if that is true, like even Prime Sergio Ramos can't save this team shipping goals.
I mean, so that's the thing, like players like Sergio. Honestly, so the thing is that players like Sergio Ramos as well have played in very free and open systems. Even the first time when Carlo came as well. But the point was that those combinations were very important. And the thing is that Sergio Ramos was a very, very aerially dominant player. You understand? And also, he was someone who has a tendency for that heroism. I don't know if the way Vinicius does his hero ball in attack. Sergio Ramos has that tendency of doing the hero ball in defense. And also, he has the other side to him as well. You understand? So I feel like obviously an aggressive player like Sergio Ramos would have helped, at least reduce this thing. And actually, right now the thing is that I think opposition doesn't fear our defense. I
Yeah,
think so. I think like they just okay, like just throw the ball in there and so like that fear factor is gone. Well, I mean Sergio Ramos just even saying the name, strikes fear into your heart. So that's something as well. So
well, yeah.
I don't know, man.
It's going to be hard. It's going to be like especially coming into these three crucial fixtures. Sociedad who are fourth in the position, and of course the Copa del Rey final and Man City. Like our defense has to be at the top of the game. And do you have a feeling that that we can actually turn this around if we are a bit more focused in defense? If do you think we can see a potential of more hero ball, as you say?
At this point of the season, no.
Hmm.
At this point of the season, I think like uh, you don't fix what. Yeah, actually, you don't fix what's not broken, right? Or rather, you don't break what's not broken. So that's the thing. Like, I mean, if they've gotten to this point of the season like this, I don't think at this, because even I wouldn't want that, because the point is right now, if you try to fix something, make some tweaks, it will take a bit of getting used to.
Yeah,
So do you want to trial this just on the eve of the Copa final, the semi final of the UCL? I mean, not really, honestly. The thing is just that we just have to, which is the sad part, is that we don't have David Alaba right now. At least we would have gotten that continuity, between Alaba and Militao that has started from last year, but right now we don't have that. So that the partnership between Rudiger and Militao is just it's just starting to build. And also let's not forget about the fullbacks as well. So it's just pure chaotic right now. It's just a madman's market right now. It's Mendy, it's not Mendy, it's Camavinga, it's not Camavinga, it's Nacho, it's Carvajal, it's Lucas Vasquez. So honestly, it's a madman's market right now. So it's just it's a bit crazy, and it's a bit, I don't know what the right word would be, but the consistency is lacking there. Honestly, the consistency is lacking. So the thing is just that as long as Militao doesn't have that night in Girona again, I think we should be fine. We will still keep conceding, surely. There is no doubt about that. But the point is, this has been our mantra. This has just been the mantra. Like even last year when we won the league, we conceded so much. So
yeah. Well, on that note, Dennis has a comment. He says, "I don't want us to keep leaking goals, man, especially going into that City game. And man, bet we better win the Copa del Rey. We haven't won it since 2014."
indeed, indeed, like it's high time we win the Copa, but I hope we don't win only the Copa. I hope we win something else as well. But you're right, then it's like we definitely do need to win the Copa against Osasuna, and we are overwhelming favorites to take this game. But let's not be cocky and arrogant. Like we have to respect Osasuna for the work they've done to be in the final. So yeah, we should be able to win this tennis. Actually, I hope we do. Fingers crossed. Do you know where the final is going to be played? Which stadium?
Think it's gonna be at the Mestalla or not sure. I think it's
Oh,
in Sevilla
well, it's
Stadium. It's in Sevilla Stadium. Yeah.
in Seville. Ah,
Yeah.
okay. Not bad. Not bad. Not bad.
You think we have fans at Seville coming up? I mean, I don't know. Um,
I mean, the point is, even if anyone is gonna go to the match in and around Seville, they're all gonna be anti-Real Madrid, because that's the thing. Like when an underdog like Osasuna comes into the final, like everyone loves an underdog story, so every neutral will back them and hope that they do something against us or something like that.
yeah. Well, and Sunil also says, Farooq, the Rudiger mistake was for the first goal where he doesn't know where the runner is, and the second goal you can't really blame the CBs. Well, yeah, that's another thing
Yeah,
I wanted to point out. So against Chelsea, we saw this, right? The defense was really focused. They had a number of crucial blocks in the first leg and in the second leg. Maybe the first leg not so much, but the second legs, our midfield was basically non-existent. We were very permeable in defense, and the defense had to deal with a lot. And Alaba was so crucial, as well as Militao. So I do think that this team has a higher ceiling in defense in higher games, in better games, but in these type of La Liga games, man, we're just still gonna concede because there's gonna be a lack of focus for sure.
I see your point. I see your point. Yeah, but the thing is that why you're talking about like there's still a next year, there's a next level to reach. I agree with that. But what I think is that we can't reach that next. For example, I don't know if you can recall, but Zidane's last league win. I don't know if you could recall. We were grinding out 1-0, 2-0 victories, 1-0, 2-0 victories. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't think we can reach that level of
Oh,
defense.
that is for sure, man. Like it was a complete turnaround when COVID hit, and then the team went into hiding for a
Exactly,
bit.
exactly,
Everyone bulked
exactly.
up. Everyone was posting these workout videos. I mean, Sergio Ramos was a fucking beast. He completely turned it around.
Exactly. So this is the thing I'm trying to like although we do have a ceiling, I do believe that a defensive lineup of Mendy, uh, Alaba, Militao, and Carvajal obviously has a higher ceiling than what we're seeing right now. But that ceiling isn't giving me a lot of confidence as well. But that doesn't mean that they wouldn't do the job. They will get the job done as well. But there's still going to be some deficiencies there, which I say again is that I think it's something of a system, not rather than the individuals there. The system, the defensive system there is almost non existent.
Yeah, that's true, man. I mean, I'm not sure if we're gonna play Mendy, to be honest. All of the news that is coming out is like super, super negative for him. The longer he takes to recover from this injury, it's like his place in the starting 11 is pushed out. And we're even looking apparently to sell him. Do you think that would be a mistake for us? Because for me, just having Fran Garcia on board and maybe having just bringing another starting left back is going to be such a pain in the ass, especially when we have other concerns with Odriozola also leaving. I'm not sure if he is even a factor right now, but Carvajal is just going to deteriorate from this point onwards.
Uh, I mean, for the whole Mendy thing, I think the club will want to keep him, but I can also understand the frustration around Mendy, the fact that he's been unavailable for a very large stretch,
Yeah.
both in both this year and last year as well. So I think that's understandable because the point is, I mean, if I have a Rolls Royce but it's always broken, then what's the point of having the Rolls Royce? I'd rather have a Volkswagen. At least I can go from point A to point B. That's the whole point. You understand? So that's the thing right now. Like, and honest to God, as I've said, last time as well, like for me at least, I am more than satisfied with what Kamavinga offers. More than, you understand. So obviously, Kamavinga doesn't have a long term future there, but I mean, at least in the immediate now, in the immediate present, he can help and figure out things. And for the long term, Frank Garcia is going to come back. That's actually I think Mendy would stay. At least this is what I want to think. That Mendy will stay. He will rotate with Frank Garcia, and then the club will test it out and see if Frank Garcia can actually pull can actually show what he's made of and rise to the occasion and cement a position similar to what Carvajal did when he played with Arbeloa as well. So that's what I want to think. But honestly, we think different, the club think different. So let's see how it pans out. But honestly, for that, I'm a bit skeptical because the point is, if Mendy goes, then who do you bring in?
I mean,
You're taking back Frank Garcia.
if you're talking
Yeah,
about
go on,
like
man.
if the club is actually looking to save a bit of money, in order to fund the Bellingham transfer as well as, maybe bring in a right winger or a right back, I feel like they're gonna go with Nacho for the left back position as a backup. I mean, he hasn't renewed yet. We have no news of that until now, but that could be an option then if Mendy goes for maybe 40 or 50 million. Do you think there's
But
a
the point
market
is
for
this: like,
Mendy for 40, 50 million? I don't know.
I think they should be. I think there
Mm.
should be a market for Mendy for 40, 50. But the point is, what I'm saying is that you want to plug one hole by punching another hole.
That's what we've been doing so far.
So that, I mean, Javier said in the group, man, like, he said he was reading some reports that this summer is going to be similar to the 2009 summer because we need it. I mean, we need a summer where we need to buy three, four, five, players to come in, into the first team directly, not, players that are going to come in 2 years like Hendrick or something like that. Players who are going to come into the first team directly and have an impact, whether be it as a squad player or be it as, important rotation player for the first team. You understand? Because, I mean, we don't know the situation with Marco Asensio. Is he going to stay? Is he going to go? If Asensio goes, you need a new right winger. If he stays, maybe you don't need one. I don't know. You understand? You look at the fullbacks. For sure, you need a fullback. For sure, irrespective of what happens to Carvalho or not, you need a fullback.
Yeah.
You understand? So you go there and you look. And for me, I've said this. Like the point is, if I have the option, like would I rather get Bellingham or get fullbacks? Hell, I will get fullbacks. I don't care. I will get fullbacks. My midfield has worked. I will get fullbacks. My midfield is working. I will get fullbacks. And there are other players we can look at in in the league as well. For, as midfield alternatives, and we are going to be more cheaper.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
You understand? So
I don't really like us, going for someone in the league because it's always anyways gonna just weaken La Liga and we just don't want to do that, man. I don't want to be the Bayern of this La Liga team. Barcelona have been
okay,
doing
you
it
don't.
with like major success, but I just don't agree with that morally.
I don't know, man. I feel like you have to do what. I mean, the sports is a very very cutthroat thing. You have to do what you have to do because the point is paying outrageously for Bellingham and we being short-handed in the team also.
Yeah.
I don't know, honestly. I don't know, man. We need to figure out these things, man. Honestly, especially for the right fullback position, man. We need to find something. We need to find something.
You
I don't know
think
what it will
look
be.
you, you think Lucas Vasquez is not the answer? I mean, I think the only thing is that okay, if let's say a right fullback from a mid-table team comes, is he gonna be playing way better than Lucas Vasquez? Is he gonna replace Camavinga in the bigger game? I mean, not Carvajal in the bigger games. I don't think so.
You're buying a young and developing player. This is the whole point. Like, obviously, you're not buying a finished product. You're gonna buy a young and developing player. You understand? Uh, for example, Ivan Fresneda, for example.
Mm,
Okay, so like for example, he's 18 years old. You're bringing him to the team. Obviously, you're not expecting him to deliver here and now. But he's gonna grow up, similar to the way. Let's not forget how Marcelo came. I think Marcelo came at 18 or 17 as well. You understand? He gradually developed into what he became.
yeah, man, but
So the thing is that,
I
yeah,
don't know. But with Marcelo, you always knew his attacking was like even like super good even back then as a 19-year-old. Like, but with people like Fresneda, like they're decent, but they're not world beaters in any particular skill. Like I would rather take. Okay, we do have Vinicius Tobias as well, who's pretty good in attack, but his defense is
so that's
atrocious.
that's 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 a good shout as well. Vinicius Tobias can be as well. The point here is that it's not about throwing down Lucas Vasquez now. Vasquez and Nacho have said this again. Like, if anyone has a problem with them, then I'm sorry, but the way I watch football and the way they watch football are two different things. These are players who are very limited, and the clubs know their limitation, and everyone knows their limitation. But they give their very best for a team. I mean, obviously, yeah, Nacho has given us 9 performances every time. A lot of times, but on average, he's a decent six. You
Yep.
understand? He's not going to go more than a decent six. Lucas Vasquez had very good moments, but as a right, he's not a right back. He's a right winger. You understand? As a right back, he's going to do what he can do, but he's very limited at that as well. You understand? So this is the thing. Like, if you come and say you're blaming, I know they do their job because you brought them to to give you a 6-star performance, not a 10-star performance.
Yeah.
You understand? So they will do that and they will leave the pitch, and you have to appreciate that. They don't complain. They don't do anything. You understand? They're homegrown. They're people that the youth look up to. Fine and good. But the point now becomes is you need to keep those guys around, but while keeping them around doesn't deter the growth of the team. Because right
Mhm.
now, the position that Lucas Vasquez plays deters the growth of, for example, Vinicius Tobias.
Yep.
Because the point is, I mean, okay, yeah, I can understand Lucas Vasquez playing and all that, but if we actually want to promote in-house, we can put Tobias there. I think maybe they fighting for promotion. That's why the players are not coming. I guess, right? Something like that.
Yeah, that's true. And Vinicius Tobias is too raw to be played as a right back man. Even at that level, he's getting caught out time and time again. And I don't think he's at La Liga level yet to be even
Bro, it's
considering
not
for
about
next year.
being it's not about being at La Liga level. It's something that I've said before that I could remember very well. Suneda was saying something different about, for example, Sergio Arribas after the guy came on and scored one goal after a 30-second cameo at the Club World Cup. I told him we wouldn't see these guys. These are literally garbage games. Where are these kids?
Yeah, yeah,
Where are the kids? These are garbage games. Where are the kids? That's like we don't do this. This is something that I haven't seen. I've been here, I've watched this club. I don't know, I can't remember when, but we haven't seen this for ever and ever. When was the last time someone came directly through?
It's been a while.
Even the guys who came through, even the guys who came through under, Solari, Santi Solari, the Regulons, they're all gone.
Yeah.
They are all gone. Like we don't. It's so difficult, to break through directly at the club for the past 10 years, past 15 years. You understand? Mostly it's through something else. You go like Carvajal, go to somewhere, get the loan, and come back. Similar Lucas Vasquez as well. You understand? But breaking into the team, I think Nacho is the last person who's done this. But even he broke into the team as a squad member, not an important first team player.
Yeah. Yeah.
You understand? So it's that's the thing. Like we just don't do this at the club. This is the thing. But honestly, this is because the point is, even if I lose, you understand, to Sociedad, it's nothing because already it doesn't have any impact on anything. The
Well,
only impact it has is that the impact it has is that Carvalho is fit. The impact it has is that Modric is not overplayed. Arribas gets some minutes. You understand? Vinicius Junior can rest.
I don't know, man. Like the club or Ancelotti doesn't see it that way. Uh, we're never going to see it. Even if, okay, let's say even saw some chatter on Twitter that Nico Paz was being considered to be brought into the first team along with Arribas. Maybe Arribas goes for a loan, but then where are you going to play these guys? And we still have a couple of loanees also coming in. So Brahim Diaz could potentially come in back in, and it just doesn't look for Castilla good for Castilla, man.
I mean, the whole Brian Diaz thing, we're hearing he's going to be making use of the make weight deal in the Jude Bellingham thing, although I don't think the Jude Bellingham team is real, honestly, because I feel like the source is coming from, which is Harry Redknapp. I don't think it's a very, very good source because, like, I mean, how
It's
many
not
years have we been hearing
the,
about Jude Bellingham? Like, how many
the
times have we heard of Harry Redknapp related to him? So doesn't give a lot of, confidence.
yeah, man. Brahim Diaz going in that deal is just it seems like a very FIFA transfer. Like it's possible in FIFA, but not in real life. These are real players, real human beings. We're like shipping away to different clubs. Not sure if Brian wants to go to Germany.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. Honestly, it's just crazy, man. Honestly, like will Brahim get a chance with us? I really don't know because the point is with Brahim, I also don't know what his best position is. Maybe the guys who watch Milan, like Sunaid, might be better positions to say. Like, is he a cam? Is he a winger? Like, what's the best he can play? Because in our team we don't have the position for a cam. You understand? And if he's a cam come winger kind of people, like I mean, it didn't work with the likes of Isco, and I don't know what is it gonna be for him. So is he going to be an eight, Modric esque, De Bruyne esque kind of player? Like, so these are the things you have to question. So I don't know how it's going to be. So is he going to also go to Dortmund? So as you said, like it's not looking too solid for the Castilla players. And the point is, things we know that the club doesn't trust them as well. So there is no point. Like, we just need to go out and buy a fullback, as I said. So the thing is that the presence of Lucas Vasquez should not hinder that purchase of a right back, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
yeah, totally agree with that. And one other player that we might bring in the summer could be Kubo. Do we sell him to another small La Liga club, or do you think we will hold on to him as a spot player? Because right now at
No, I think
Sociedad, he's playing as a second striker almost. He doesn't play that wide out like he did in Mallorca.
I think Taike's time is up with us. I think Taike is going to get sold, and rightly so, because right now the point is, do you see a future for Taike? No, I think just maybe as a squad player, but yeah, because the point is right now as a squad player, you have already if Asensio stays, you have Asensio there already. You understand? So as a squad player, like he's going to be, I don't know, he's going to be fifth choice or sixth choice. When push comes to shove. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, man, I just wish we had a bit more Lonis in the, as defensive players. We just don't do that, man. Like our Castilla players, it's been a long time since we had a really good out and out defenders go out.
Yeah, man, honestly, so that's the thing. Like, I don't know. I mean, we I forgot the name. There was this guy who was from Casilla, the center back.
Rafa Marin,
Rafa Marin, yeah. So I mean, a player like that, I mean, why isn't he going to a team like Valladolid, for example?
Yeah.
Why is he? I mean, we have ties with Valladolid. Raúl is there, you understand? Why is he going to Germany, for example, to play with Xavi Alonso at Leverkusen, for example? You understand? These are opportunities out there, and these are our people, so they will look after our guys for us. You understand?
Yeah.
So why not? You understand? Why not? It's like they can, because let's not forget, like Carvajal went to Leverkusen as well, and he became what he came. He became.
And then
So yeah.
there are people like Sunaid in the chat. He says, we got Rafa Marin. He's got to be given a proper chance ahead of bumps like Rudiger.
I mean, it is what it is, man. Like we gotta calm it down a bit, honestly. Like as I've said, like I think obviously there are mistakes that Rudiger have made a lot. Obviously, like he's so rash. There is no leader in the defense. His combination with Militao is bad. You understand? So I think his combination with Alaba will be much more better. There is that, but again, we don't have a very solid defensive system, honestly. So this is the reason why, because we've conceded goals before Rudiger came, we're gonna concede goals again and again. You understand? With Rudiger as well. So it's nothing new. We've been there, done that before. So it's not just about Rudiger alone. Obviously, he has a lot of flaws, and the biggest thing being the fact that the best of his performances have come from a back three. You
Mm,
understand? And I mean, the back three he played on the Thomas Tuchel was a very, very rigid system. A very rigid system. You understand? A rigid system that he had three hardworking midfielders in front of him. You know, and let's not forget about the fact that the defenders that were behind him, arguably one of the best centre backs to ever play the game in Thiago Silva. You understand?
yeah.
So it's he wasn't around Lucas Vasquez and Militao. You understand? So he was around proper household legends. You understand? So and that's the thing, honestly. So it's I don't know. I just feel like it wasn't a perfect transfer in the first place, but a player like Rudiger with with the name and the pedigree, like you just don't let him go like that. You understand? But I think he will come good. He will come
Yeah.
good. Maybe next season. Let's see.
Like, even if he doesn't come good, like we have nothing to lose, man. He was a good squad player. He keeps the morale of the dressing room up. He doesn't complain too much when he doesn't play. And I feel like we have nothing to lose with Rudiger.
But Jacob, can I ask you something though?
Yeah,
I actually always see that we talk about buying everything, but we never talk about buying centre backs.
that's true.
Do you think we're stacked in the centre back position?
Stacked? Come on, man. We have no. There is no way we're stacked. Of course, Nacho can play there. He's the only true replacement if like either Militao or Alaba go missing. If Nacho and Militao play together, like I don't think that's a huge drop off in like the bigger games. Nacho can do a perfectly good job, but then beyond those three, like of course most good teams in Europe they have four really good centre backs, and we're just not there yet. Rudiger is not the guy, and especially if one of our fullbacks is like very injured, Nacho is going to play there, and then right now we're at no backups for centre backs.
Yeah, man, because actually I was just thinking like, our center backs are 30 years old, man. Rudiger is 30 or 31. Nacho is 30. Alaba is 30. Like the only young guy there is Militao, actually.
Yep.
And actually, I keep hearing people say it's a transition phase. What are we transiting into? From 30 to 40?
I don't know. I don't know. With Alaba, I
I
can
mean, honestly,
see him play for another couple of seasons at least. Same with Rudiger. So I think we could say we are stacked in the centre back department if we get a couple of decent fullbacks. If we're not, then Nacho is going to play there, and then we're really short-staffed in the centre back position.
mhm. Oh, that's interesting, no?
Mm.
Then it means it's not a transition anymore. Then it means that you have players for the here and now.
That is true. Yeah.
Actually, see,
Bro,
the
the
reason why
transition
actually I thought
happened.
about
Yeah, the transition happened a couple of years ago. Like we no longer in the transition.
bro, you actually the reason why I thought about this was that actually I don't know for some reason I think it was day before yesterday or was it on Thursday? It was the exact day that Mourinho lost the semi-final against Bayern Munich.
Hmm.
And actually I was going through there was this video that there was like kind of documenting the whole team and Mourinho said it was the first time in football that he cried.
Yeah, yeah.
because like that was the best team. And honestly, for me also, it was one of the worst exits we have in the Champions League. You understand? Because we were not arguably we were the best team in the world in 2012.
And we had
We
the be
were
bro, we had the literally had the best penalty takers in that shootout.
miss Alonso. So Alonso scored. Ramos, Kaka, Cristiano all missed penalties.
That was
Like these are
totally
people who
unexpected.
will score. These are people who will score penalties in the dark while being blindfolded.
Yeah.
That's how good penalties takers they are. You understand? So we missed that. Actually, I was looking and honestly, like when you look at that team, when you say you're in a transition, you understand. You can understand that you're a transition from the Rauls, from the Gutis. You understand? To these guys.
Mm.
Ronaldo was 20 something. Benzema was young. Ramos was young, Pepe was young, Arbeloa was young, Marcelo was young, Quentrao was young, Ozil was sorry, there was not Ozil there, but I mean that's just that generation of players. You understand? You were
Yeah.
building something. Eventually, Mourinho was able to carve out a defense because let's not forget also before Mourinho came, our defense was just all over the place. But he molded Ramos and Pepe, Marcelo included as well, and Arbeloa into a strong defensive unit,
Yeah.
right? And it was on this unit that we built the next 10 years.
Mm.
We won the Champions League 3 times, sorry, 4 times in that period. We won the leagues, we won the Copas, the Super Cups, and what is not. You understand? But now I'm just thinking like, what are we building? What are we transiting into? Are you gonna build a defensive unit with 30-year-old, 40-year-old defenders? Is this what
That
we're transiting into?
there's no plan for the center backs or the full backs now. The only plans that we are kind of stacked and we are building towards like something towards a 10-year-old history is, of course, we have two excellent right wingers. We have an excellent midfield. That's the only thing. All the other players are like cut out to dry. We don't. We know. I mean, we used to have a really good goalkeeper in the form of Lunin. He used to have a much higher ceiling. He used to perform better in these games, and I feel like he has still taken a step back in his development now. So we no longer have a goalkeeper also in the mix for the next 10 years.
I see. I see. But I mean, the point is, Lunin actually, I think, can still salvage some things because the point is, Lunin actually, and let's not forget about the fact that, keepers tend to pick quite late. You understand?
Yeah.
So I actually feel like, okay, maybe not for the next 10 years, but I think for the next 6, 7 years, you still have a keeper in Thibaut. You
Hmm.
understand? Because I think like Thibaut can play at least till 36, 37. I think he's 30 or 31. I'm not sure.
31, I think.
I
Yeah.
think he's around. So there is that. So I actually think because of that, I think it's it's possible for him to go for the next 5, 6 years. So I think for Lunin, it's always going to be a very difficult thing because Lunin needs to start playing to eventually build that to get to that level. You understand? But he's not playing at all, and there is no way he's going to dispose Thibaut in the next 3, 4 years. So I
Hmm.
think it's already unfair to count on Lunin to be the keeper for the next 10 years. I think he's 22 or 23 right now. So already I don't think he was ever going to be that for us. You understand?
Yeah.
Because unless you're going to displace Thibaut, like I mean, if the man is 25 and he's still not playing, do you expect him to be something for the next 10 years? Obviously not. So what I said, like I think if he goes to a different place, I
Hmm.
believe that by playing week in, week out, and testing himself against the best strikers in the world, he would eventually be able to regain his form. And I believe that his ceiling still remains the same, in my opinion.
Yeah, man. And it's always with these goalkeepers, you should probably send them to a team fighting for the relegation or team in the bottom half of the league so they face more shots.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. That's just it. Exactly.
And we have a comment from Arpit Bhaskar here. Arpit. He says, would you take Kubo back in Madrid as a second choice right winger option? Hmm.
Oh, actually, we just talked about this, but the point is, as a second option right winger, who is your first option right winger? This is the question.
Rodrigo, man, of course.
Then it means Asensio is leaving then, if that's the case he's making.
Yeah.
I mean, if Asensio leaves, of course, definitely we will take him. But if Asensio doesn't leave, I don't think it's gonna be fair or right for Kubo to come back, honestly, because we're just gonna have a similar situation. I don't know, with the people who are always on the bench and they never get to play. So there is
Hmm.
no need for that, in my opinion.
I mean, in my opinion, from what I've seen from Kubo in Mallorca and Sociedad, I would honestly take Lucas Vazquez at right wing over him. for the because
Oh wow.
the simple reason is that he just doesn't think, man. Like he's a very
One dimensional.
yeah, one dimensional is exactly the word I was looking for. So with the ball at his feet, he will take it forward, but he has no idea what he will do with it. Two, three moves down the line. He just hopes he'll make it into the box and someone runs in. But then with Real Madrid, like we know we don't have the runners to do that, and he just isn't the type of player to wait for a cutback or make that smart play like Vasquez or Rodrigo. Honestly, I would take Vasquez over him.
Well, once upon a time, Vasquez was a world beater, man. Let's not forget 2017, Lucas
Bro,
Vasquez, man. Once
bro,
upon a
like
time,
Lucas Vasquez got a
sixteen
penalty
people.
against penalty for us against El Maria. He's still a world beater.
Indeed, bro. Let's give credit where it's due, man. Let's give credit where it's due.
All right.
Oh yeah, you're right, man. But honestly, like I don't know. I just still feel like the right wing is something that we will keep discussing. I put it in the box, the right wing. But let's see how it goes, man. Let's see how it goes.
All right. On that note, you think we should head into the Real Sociedad part of the preview?
Yeah, man. I just feel like this is a game that has upset written all over it. But I think Real Sociedad defeating us isn't actually an upset. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking.
It's it's been a
Honestly,
while
I
since
feel I
we've
feel like
since we've lost to Sociedad, but yeah, this season it wouldn't be an upset at all. Smaller teams have had their way with us.
I mean, considering the point we are in the season, that's why I'm saying honestly, I don't think it's an upset per se. I don't know, man. And considering the fact that you have a game on Saturday, if I'm not mistaken, against Osasuna, or was it on Sunday? Yeah, against Osasuna for the trophy. I think this is a game that has upset written all over it, man. And
Mhm.
especially we're traveling to the San Sebastian as well. So I mean, we Barcelona has always had trouble traveling to San Sebastian, but for us, it's always been a good place. So I don't know, man. Honestly, I don't know. What's their form like? Do you the what's it?
They've been pretty inconsistent as of late, but they have the fourth place like right there because Villarreal have been underperforming. Betis are like nowhere in the picture right now, and for sure
I
they're going to
see.
be in the Champions League next season. They have been winning the tougher fixtures and kind of bottling it against smaller teams. But yeah, that's how they are.
Robin Hood of La Liga, take the points from the big ones and give it to the small ones.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
man. Speaking of La Liga, man, I don't know what happened to Betis, man. Even if you could recall last season, it was something similar, man. Pellegrini's men start so out of the block, so fast and quick. And once it's spring, they're nowhere to be found, bro. They lost 4-0 to Barca. Is it 4-0 or 4-1?
4-0, yeah.
Wow. I mean, Pellegrini's team will lose matches, but not this way, man.
Wait, let me just check. I think Betis haven't won in the last 5 games.
Oh wow. I don't know why
Just a
I remember clearly
yeah,
last year it was something similar as well. They were
yeah.
so, in for a Champions League spot and what is not, and then it was springtime and all of a sudden Betis
Mm.
is missing.
Yeah, they have lost 5 of the last 6 games. So, uh,
Wow.
yeah, they've totally taken a falling back. And one part is injuries, and it's just this rut that the team has fallen into. They just haven't been able to score much, and then they've been conceding like crazy.
Hmm. I see. I see.
Mm.
Well, I mean, it is what it is, man. What can we do? I always loved Manuel Pellegrini because I feel like he's always been unfortunate in the two high-profile jobs he's had. One at Real Madrid, which I think he had 91 points or 92 points, and he still didn't win the league.
Yeah.
And the whole Man City debacle where City literally, disgraced him to bring, Pep into the fold. As also, I feel like he's being treated unfair for these two big jobs, but he's someone I've always had a soft spot for. Honestly, I would really love, his Betis team to get into the Champions League one of these days eventually. But seems like they're missing something, man. Honestly,
Yeah. Doesn't look good for Betis. But anyways, Sociedad are fourth. They have some really good attacking lineup. So the thing with Sociedad this season is that
definitely.
they can have around three different attacking lineups and still put out the same quality of players. One other
Wow.
like really fun fact that I missed at the start of the season, but I don't know why people aren't talking about this more. So they have a completely left-footed forward line and for like advanced midfielder list. So I'll name them out. They have Muhammad Ali Cho, or fondly called Momo Cho. They have Kubo, Oyarzabal, Sorloth, Bryce Mendes, Carlos Fernandez, and David Silva, all left-footed in the forward line. I don't know, man. Like,
Wow.
are they just scouting out for like these left-footed players in attack? Because you have heard this, right? It's a saying in football. These left-footed defenders are mostly right-footed, and they're used to defending
Yeah,
against right-footed players. And people find it tough, especially in the lower levels, to defend against these left-footed players. But
left-footed players. Yeah.
do you think that makes a difference at the highest level of football?
I think it does. I think it definitely does because I mean, whenever you see like also like a left winger playing on the right wing as well, like you always see that there's always that minor advantage because the point is, you mostly know what how can I say for example, a right winger is gonna come. You understand? He's gonna beat you and run around and throw the ball in. You understand? But for a left footer, he can just throw an outswinger from anywhere.
Mm,
I don't know if that makes any sense. You understand?
yeah.
He can literally just stand and just make an outswinging cross. You understand? And what can you do? You understand? So it is a bit. I mean, obviously, it's not like on like not defendable or whatever. It is defendable for sure, but I mean, it's gonna be it's a bit trickier. Especially that's what players do in games like when two wingers change position. Even sometimes we've seen it in the past with Bale and Cristiano. When they just change the position. To get the edge on the defenders as well. So yeah, that can happen.
Mm.
But I mean, as well, but if you're starting the game already in this way, already the opposition has studied this, you understand? So it's not going to be much of a shock for them. You understand? But if you just, make that into switch for like, I don't know, 2 minutes in the game, like that can, get them on their heels and, make them panic a bit. And when you go back, then you find it much more easier to beat your man.
And the thing is, these left-footed players, they're very heavily left-footed, if you know what I'm saying. So they depend totally on their left foot, and they
On their left
hardly
foot, yeah.
can they hardly can play with their right foot. And we've seen this time and
One
time
trick
again with
pony.
special players. Yeah.
One trick ponies. Yeah, we've seen them, but the point is, no matter how one trick you are, I mean, the master of the trick himself, Lionel Messi, man, what has he done? I mean, we always know what Robben was gonna do,
Yeah.
but Robben does it every time, and no one stops it. You understand? So yeah, it is what it is, man. I mean, the magician David Silva as well. I mean, what he's achieved is phenomenal. So yeah, it's so one dimensional, but it's so good that you can't stop the one dimension itself.
And I think left-footed players, like, they know where to feed the ball, and it just worked out so well for them this season, especially in attack. Of course, they have shipped a few goals here and there, but then uh, in attack they have been imperious, man. The thing is that for them, they are guaranteed to make chances, but it's not always that they take their chances. Of course, Sorloth is, like,
Hmm.
I think, one of the top scorers with 10 goals.
Okay.
But Oyarzabal is right along that. But Oyarzabal, he needs around five chances to put in one good goal.
Yeah, that's true actually. What about our boy Kubo? Doesn't he have a couple of goals?
Kubo, yeah, he has a few assists. I think five assists for the season. I don't know.
Oh wow, that's cool. That's cool. That's cool. Actually, we have a Nigerian striker at Sociedad as well, Umar Sadiq.
Oh, he's injured right now. Yeah.
Umar Sadiq as well. Like we also had a lot of hope for Umar Sadiq. Actually, Umar Sadiq, I think if I'm not mistaken, in the he's in the group right before the what's he called? Samu Chukwueze and the Osimhen group actually. Like
Mm.
I think he's one group ahead of them, one age group ahead of them, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe one, I can't remember. But I do remember also like there once upon a time he also was really high related, on the up and coming talents in Nigeria actually. But yeah, man, he's been nothing to write home about so far.
Mm. Well, just judging from the highlights that I've seen this season, Momo Cho, man, Muhammad Ali Cho, is a really good right winger. So he played as a center forward for the France under 19s and whatnot, and he's a very good two-footed player, but he can cut in and do a job on the right wing if given a chance. I'm super.
That's,
So the France delegation who follows him, like, they name him the next Turam, but yeah, let's see.
the next Turam.
Yeah,
Oh wow, interesting. That's a huge praise, man.
yeah.
I hope they're talking about the original Thuram and not his son.
Yeah, yeah. Hopefully. Honestly, like, I'm very impressed with his dribbling too. Like he's not just a, someone who can cut in, just make a move in the box and score. He can always also make the chance and put in that last ball, find someone in the cross as well. He puts in a really good cross, and
Yeah,
every single player, man, like because we talked about this, right? The left-footed players, they're very left-footed, but they're very good with their left foot, and every single
exactly. Yeah.
they're very good with their final balls and the cross, and it's just gonna give us trouble for our defense if we're not too careful.
Speaking of left-footed players, I just, a memory just came to mind when I was young back in Nigeria, like we used to, play a knockabout on the streets. So, like, I mean, whoever owns the ball is like the boss of the team, you understand? So his closest friend, so like you call people and you select the team, right?
Right.
So whatever happens was that anyone who has a left foot, even if they have never seen you before in their life, you're the first selection, as long as you're a lefty,
Right. Yeah.
because we had this belief that like because uh I could recall as well, then there was Van Persie at Arsenal, so like I think it was 11 or something like that. So like we had this nickname for him. So like we used to just say like anyone who is a lefty is a Van Persie. That's just it. Just come to my team. Just come to my team.
Mm.
That's how highly related left-footed players are actually thought of. Incredible, man.
Yeah.
Times.
I feel like every single left-handed or left-footed player has like made it onto my school football team as well. Like that's a thing, not just in Nigeria, man. Like these guys are gifted.
Yeah, man. True, 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 true.
Right. So if I had to guess, just looking from their lineups this season, against the smaller teams, Kubo has started, but in the bigger teams, it's either Sorloth and Oyarzabal doing the leading the forward line, or with
Okay.
with David Silva and Mikel Merino and Zubimendi in the midfield. So Bryce Mendes is also thrown to the mix because he can run and do a job, man. He's very good at carrying the ball in front and putting a mean tackle in. So yeah, we can expect a high pressing game with all of these players being capable of being putting in the final ball, and it's just the scoring part that I'm kind of not concerned in Sociedad about. Uh, Only Sarlat can reliably put the ball into the net. The rest of the players, they need a couple of chances to, really score.
Yeah, but the thing about playing against us is that like these people actually turn up to their monster level. I don't know why, but whenever they play against us, the person who misses an empty net all of a sudden scores a worldie from the half of the pitch, man.
It's scripted.
So
It's
this
scripted, I
is
tell you.
so this is the thing, honestly. So, but anyways, honestly, like I do get what you're saying, but let's not forget about the fact that our defense is gonna keep giving up chances after chances as well. So
Mm.
there is this, and I'm very sure they're gonna go into this game with one mind on the Cup final, because it's just the next game immediately after this, honestly. So that's why I said to you like this game is a thing that has the scripts of a Hollywood movie written all over it.
I mean, it's not going to make headlines anymore. Right? Girona was a headline, but we just become so used to it with Villarreal and Girona, especially in the last couple of months. So
Yeah, yeah,
there's
yeah.
nothing Hollywood
No,
about
no.
it. It's just reality for.
Well, that's true. That's true,
Uh,
man. What can you say, man? That's
but
true.
yeah, another interesting dynamic is that Vinny's going to be missing, so Rodrigo is for sure going to start in left wing, and he's going to be facing either Adris Elizondo or Gorazabal, both good out and right defenders in their time. So, do you think Rodrigo is going to put in a job over there, or is he going to struggle?
I mean, Rodrigo's been good. He's been good. He's been in good form lately. So I believe that going into his primary position is gonna give him even more platform to to shine. So I believe like him playing in his natural habitat is it's gonna be all good, man. I believe he's gonna fly fly fly. But the question is like, is he gonna play with Benzema or without Benzema? This is the question, honestly.
Why wouldn't we play Benzema?
I mean, I don't know. I told you before, like I think they might want to take that 2017 approach where when you travel away, you don't travel with. I mean, they didn't travel with Cristiano in 2017 when they traveled away.
Mm.
And when they played the home games, they played Cristiano. So maybe this might be something that they might want to repeat. But the thing now becomes is without Vinicius Junior, then it makes it even much more difficult, honestly. I mean, if Vini wasn't, suspended, it would have been a case like this. But I think with the suspension of Vinicius Junior, it makes it more difficult for this rotation to take place.
I mean, even if we had Vinny, I don't think Benzema is going to be subbed out, man. Like, unless he has a knock, he's not going to be subbed out. Because the thing is, Zidane can tell you, hey, bro, you're just not going to play for the next game. Even players like Cristiano, Zidane can be like, bro, just take a rest. You need it. But Carlo is not going to do that. He just asks the players, hey, bro, do you want to play? If they say yes, he's going to play them.
But for the trip to Girona, he wasn't there as well, though. No, Benz wasn't there for the trip to Girona, though. So I don't know, honestly. Like, it might be, it might not be. I don't know. But I say, like, I think even the suspension to Vinicius actually negates that idea in the first place because
Yeah.
uh, you're not gonna take your two top scorers out of the team, obviously, like just like that.
Mm.
So yeah, it's gonna be too much of a drastic change. So I think Benz goes there. Well, I think it's gonna be Benz, Asensio, and Rodrigo most likely.
Most likely, yeah. Especially with Hazard out and, Mariano being Mariano. We have no other options, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we have no other options. Well, I mean, maybe we can call up Alvaro. I don't know. Is he available? Because I heard like Real Madrid actually stopped Alvaro from going to the under 20 tournament, the under 20 Copa America tournament, right? Because
Oh,
they're chasing promotion with the team. So that's why I think like the youths are actually not coming that much. I might be mistaken, but this is what I read. That
hmm.
Real Madrid stopped Alvaro from joining up with Euro guys on the 20 national team for the Copa. So because they were chasing promotion with Raul. So yeah, let's see.
I don't think Alvarez going to play, and even if Benz has to be taken on the 16 minutes just to give him a rest, I feel like Mariano should come on. He deserves it, man. Like the last couple of games he can play before, heading out.
Well, yeah, man, why not? Let's give them a good send off if that's the case then.
Yeah. All right. You want to head right into the midfield then? We have Camavinga out. We have Montage out. So not too many options,
Yeah,
yeah.
not too many options. Tramini comes back.
Hmm. So many comes back.
I think
Is Valverde going to play as well?
I think Valverde plays as well. Because
Hmm.
I mean, who is left? Kroos and Ceballos then most likely.
Yeah.
But I think they all play. I think they all play.
Hmm.
I think I think Tramini plays. I think most likely Dani Ceballos continues to play. I'm not very sure, but I think maybe Toni Kroos might get a rest
Hmm.
because also he's played quite a number of consecutive games right now. If I'm not mistaken, he's played the last two. He played against Girona, he played against Almeria as well.
Yeah.
And Fede got a break against Almeria, from the starting. He wasn't in the starting lineup. So I think we go with, I think we go with a midfield of Ceballos, Chouameni, and Fede Valverde.
Yeah, that's a fair shot. I mean, I don't see it any other way, man. Cruz needs to be rested for the next two games, sure. And Fede got his long-awaited rest. Thankfully, Vini also gets his rest today. I didn't see
Yep,
any news
yep, yep.
because in the Almeria game he was hobbling around a bit. Then he was taken off, but I don't think he got like a long-term knock or anything. So it's good that he gets this bit of rest and he's still healthy now.
I hope so, man. I hope it's nothing. I hope it's not. I also didn't see anything, so I don't know if there is anything. Yeah, let's not jinx it. So let's just leave it as things as they are. Let's leave
Fair
things as they
enough.
are. Let's leave things as they are.
Well, I guess we can get to the defense then. Carvajal was rested in the last game, so do you think he regains starting position?
But I mean, Carvalho has been rested for 2 games in a row now. No, against Girona also it was Lucas Vasquez, right?
What? No man, wasn't it Carvajal? Don't remember.
Huh? So was it Carvalho
So,
or Lucas Vasquez came on in the second half, or what was it?
I think Lucas Vasquez came on just to get a goal. Yeah, he was brought on.
Huh? Okay. All right
Yeah,
then.
yeah.
But I think
So,
maybe Lucas continues in his role.
hmm,
I think Lucas continues in his role, and for the centre backs, we have no other option already. It's going to be Militao and Rudiger, and then for the left back, also we have no option. It's going to be Nacho. I mean, the team sort of select itself with all the suspension and injuries out there.
yeah. Do you think we
So
see
that's
another Lunin appearance? Or
nah. I don't think we see Lunin here against Sociedad at the Anoeta, man. I don't think we see Lunin
mm,
because the point is, it's a you don't want. I don't know. This might be harsh to say, but you don't want another shit show as well. It's gonna be demoralizing, and especially before a final, and then the
yeah,
final leads to the semi-final. So you understand. So, and honestly, the point is whether you like it or not, like the confidence that Courtois gives to the defense
mm,
and the fear that he transfers onto the opposition as well. So those are two, critical things that I think are important eventually.
yeah, man. And with goalkeepers, it's always a matter of luck.
Yep, true,
It's a
true,
major,
true,
major factor.
very true.
Uh, these bounces, they are more likely to like happen with Lunin because he's unlucky, and Courtois, like, man, even if there's a bounce, that man is getting to it 9 times out of 10.
Exactly. That's just it. Exactly. Exactly.
All right, we have a starting lineups, we have a preview. Do you have anything else to talk about before we head into the predictions?
Not really. I think it's, these are just garbage games in garbage time. So honestly, there isn't because if we start to talk again, it's gonna go back to the whole City preview thing. So I think
Mm,
it's better to, just skip it to be what it is. At least after this game, we have a very important game to look forward to. At least then we can have a proper preview, hopefully,
yeah.
ahead of the final.
Well, yeah, I did have Benzema in my notes as well. So in the last month, he has three fucking hat tricks, man.
Yeah,
Imagine.
man. The man is back, man. Ballon d'Or Benzema is back. Ballon d'Or Benzema is back, man. He's. I hope he can continue this rich run of them into this
Oh.
rich vein of form into March. I hope he can into what am I saying? Into May, man, not March. What March?
Okay. I guess Farooq
Into
is like
May.
close to your bedtime, and it's just hard to piece together words.
Into May, man. Hopefully, I hope he can. So yeah, because we need Benzema.
Yeah,
Honestly, like if there is anyone who we need to knock out these people, it's Benzema.
yeah.
Honestly, we need Benzema much more than anything right now. We need Benzema, and the form he's showing. Honestly, because I don't know, man. I always keep saying it. Like City are a very good defensive unit, but if you isolate them 1v1, I do think you can exploit them. I honestly like. Okay, yeah, Ruben Diaz, he's a fine defender in his own right.
Mm,
Akanji is a fine defenders. Stones and Ike, but I feel like these are. I mean, it's the opposite of us. We have very good individuals, but no unit. They have very average individuals with a very strong unit. You
mm.
understand? So I think the ability to isolate them 1v1, I believe is the
I
key
don't
here.
know,
And I
man.
think
Like, I feel like both of their fullbacks are better defensively than us.
because they're center backs, bro.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, man. Like
they're
it's
center
it's
backs. They are
it's gonna
backup
it's gonna be
center
a
backs.
it's gonna be a really hard time, breaking them down. It's not just that uh, uh, they are bad 1v1, like 1-to-1 with our defense. It's just their center backs are maybe a bit of a lower caliber than us, but their fullbacks are, I feel, even better defensively than us.
Yeah, I mean, defensively, obviously they are better than us. But what I'm saying to you here is that when you look at them, it's not about the individual, but it's about a unit right now. They have a system, you understand? The defensive
Yeah,
shape and the defensive system is so good right now. Because, for example, you can see a case in point is John Stones, for example. He plays as a fullback, but also he plays as a center back. He plays as an I don't know whatever they call the position, but I don't know. It's just, as I said, it's a unit. You
yeah.
understand? Rodri drops deep, John Stones, steps up, all these kind of things, because John Stones is a very good, he's very good on his feet with the ball. Also, all these things are there. So, as I said again, it's becoming a City preview, bro. I don't know, man.
I don't mind it, man. Like, it's something to distract us from what is going on in La Liga right now. So, uh,
Yeah, man, it is, man, it is. Anyways,
right,
man, let's go into the predictions, I guess, if there is nothing else to,
sure, shoot.
I think we're gonna draw the game at the
Oh wow,
Anoeta.
is it going to be a high-scoring draw?
Not necessarily. I think it's gonna be a 1-1, 2-2-ish kind of game, not something too extravagant.
Hmm. I'm actually hoping for like a good resounding victory, man. I feel like we need a warm up before the Copa del Rey, and I think we're gonna go for a 3-2 victory, considering that
Oh
our defense has been
wow.
shit. And Rodrigo is gonna get a hat trick. Imagine that.
Oh, imagine that.
That's
What do you
just
think about Benzema in the PTC though?
man. He just one goal off the top.
I think it's two, not one.
No, he's Lewandowski has 18 and Benzema has 17.
I think Lewandowski scored yesterday and it became 19.
Oh, um, let's see. La Liga.
At least that was the picture I saw roaming around on the internet. Like
Oh,
Lewandowski has
right.
19 now. But
Lewandowski has 19. Yeah. Hmm.
yeah, he scored one yesterday and he has 19 now, so he's two ahead of Benz.
Oh, damn. Yeah, I think it's hard to catch, especially if you're going to be running deeper into the Champions League and Benzema's going to be rested, like you said, in the away games.
Yeah, I mean that would be the logical thing to do. But then if this guy is chasing this personal glory, and if the club decides to indulge him and they decide to I don't know,
Hmm.
give him the chance to do whatever it is that he needs to do to win the PTT. So let's see, man.
Yeah, time will tell, but it wouldn't surprise me if
Exactly.
Benzema is like comfortably ahead in the Pichichi race in a month's time. That's just the sort of player he is.
Yeah, honestly, that's true. But then Lewandowski is no mean feat as well, especially with the return of Ousmane Dembele. Like
Mm.
if Ousmane Dembele starts to hit a bit of form, like because that's the time when Lewandowski started to score so much in the beginning of the season. I think the key information there was the performances of Ousmane Dembele. Like Dembele was, I mean, last year Dembele was the highest assister, even although he missed the first half of the season. So that's
Yeah,
how good he,
crazy.
yeah. So well, yeah, I mean, it's he has a very, very good shot, Benzema, because it's just two goals. I mean, 1 month ago, it was something that you can't even imagine. Like it was impossible. He could not compete for the PGC, and all of a sudden now, he's just two goals behind. So yeah, why not?
Okay. All right. Let's end the preview here then. And before you guys go, if you're still here, do give a thumbs up so that it helps video and helps our channel because we're on the road to 1,000 subs by the end of the year. And hopefully, man, let's make it with the Champions League coming up. And then, hopefully we go on to the final. And that's going to be a really good growth for our channel as well. And for all the audio listeners, do consider checking out our YouTube as well. Come on here, give us a subscribe or give us a like if you like our content, and keep doing the good work you're doing by listening to our spots, the Spotify and all the other platforms. And we do have some interesting posts on social media as well. Do check them out. Check us out on Twitter and Instagram. Check out our partners over at Real Madrid Committee. They have an Instagram. All the links are down in the description below. And like we always say, Farooq,
Hala Madrid!
hala Madrid.